Well, thanks for being here. I know we've got quite a number of people that are joining us. So I am with Portia Obeng, who's a social media strategist. And you're the founder, right? And you're going to talk to us about level up your LinkedIn. And your company, what's your company name again? I don't have it here for some reason.
It's just me.
Just you. It's just because you are amazing. So it is just you. That's amazing. But we've had Portia speak at our events before, and she is dynamic. We had so much positive feedback from your presentation. And she's coming to us all the way from DC. So amazing. And maybe you can put, you already put your contact information in the chat. So if you want to reach out to Portia after the event or learn more about her services, you can definitely reach out via LinkedIn. She shared her link in the chat there. But I want to say thanks to everyone for joining us. If you have questions throughout the duration of the session, please put them in the session chat. Portia, I don't know, are you waiting till the end to take questions, or will you take them as you go along?
Yeah, I'll wait till the end to take the question.
Okay. So place them in the chat at any time, and then Portia will get to them towards the end. I'm going to do a brief intro. I don't want to take up too much more time, and then I'll leave you to it. And we want to thank you again for being here, Portia. We really appreciate it. So Portia is a social media strategist with nearly 10 years of experience in social media strategy and content management. She started before snaps were chatted, Instagram had stories, and ticks were talked. And her current specialties are Instagram and LinkedIn. She teaches high-achieving professional women the mindset and systems they need to be taken seriously on LinkedIn so they can stop selling themselves short and start attracting the money-making opportunities they deserve. So thank you again so much for being here. I'll leave you to it, and I'll be back later for some concluding remarks and questions. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. I have a lot of information and a little bit of time, so I'm going to get right into it. Give me a yes in the chat if you can see my slides. Give me a yes in the chat. All right, she's in there. Natasha's in there. Joanna's in there. I hope I pronounced your name right. Okay, you guys are with me. All right, so we're going to talk about leveling up your LinkedIn. Now, if you guys also could do me a favor and then put your LinkedIn URL in the chat. And before the end of this, I want you guys to all have at least 5 new connections. So 5 new connections in 20 minutes. See if you guys can do that. But basically in my introduction, yeah, I'm a social media strategist. I have been doing playing on the internet and getting paid for it for a long time. And the reason why I really learned how to use LinkedIn really well is because one of my first jobs where I was working on social media way back in the day, I was actually laid off from that job and I had to find a new job, and I hired somebody to help me with that. And she really encouraged me to level up my LinkedIn. And since then, I have gone on to do some great things with my LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to share with you guys a couple of things that I know. So if that is okay with you guys, here we go. If you guys have any questions that I'm not able to get to during our time together, please feel free to email me or send me a message on LinkedIn. I'm pretty good at answering my messages there. You might hear from me on LinkedIn before my email address. And before we get into the meat of the presentation, as you know, I live in Washington, D.C., which is home to a wonderful style of dance called Beat Your Feet, to a type of music called go-go music. It is also home to one of the best HBCUs in the country, Howard University. You see it there on the right. That is their Showtime band. So if you could please let me know in the chat where you are joining us from. Please give me some information. Oh, great. You guys did a good job sharing your links. Fantastic. Okay, Toronto, that is a beautiful place. I've been there. The food is delicious. It's so clean for a big city. Okay, Dallas in the house. Okay, Toronto. Okay, Toronto's winning. You're winning. Thank you so much, guys, for participating. All right. Now, let me give you some information about LinkedIn. It is the largest professional networking tool that you can use. But how many of you guys have heard people say that LinkedIn is nothing more than just your resume online? Give me a yes in the chat if you've heard people say that. It is just your resume online. Yep, Natasha's heard it as, yep, you guys have heard it. Pretty much that's what people will say, but guess what, guys? That is far from the truth. It is all a lie. It's a big lie. So I like to give this example. I want you to think of your resume as Rihanna the Queen. So Rihanna the Queen, before she launched her Fenty empire, if you're not familiar, her Fenty empire includes Fenty makeup, Fenty skin. She's got intimate wear as well, and she's well on her way to being a billionaire. But this is how she was on the left side of the screen before she launched the Fenty empire. So this is your resume, right? So it gets the job done. It looks really nice. But then I want you to think of LinkedIn as Rihanna after the Fenty empire. Look at her. Look at that. So we're talking about a LinkedIn profile. It's way more dynamic than your resume. It's giving you more glam. It's giving you more room to walk with, more things to do. So there you go. Now let me give you some information about LinkedIn. There are over 700 million users. And like I said, it's the most powerful online professional networking tool that you can use. On any given day, there are about 20 million jobs open on LinkedIn. So this is part-time, full-time, internships, temporary, and now, of course, an increase in remote jobs. And it's really changed the way that recruiters find talent. So now about 95% of recruiters say they are using LinkedIn to find talent. Now, I'm going to give you some information about how you can quickly level up your profile. The first thing is the cover photo. This is the area on your LinkedIn profile that appears behind your profile photo. It's at the top area of your profile, but it is an area that most people leave blank. They leave it as the default gray graphic. If you guys have seen that on LinkedIn where people will just leave it as the default gray graphic, or maybe they'll put just like a solid color up there in the cover photo area. Oh, it's also called the background photo or LinkedIn banner. If you've seen that on LinkedIn, just the plain old, nothing's fancy in the cover photo, give me a yes in the chat if you've seen that on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's pretty common. You guys are with me, fantastic. Okay, but here's the thing. The cover photo is prime real estate, guys. This is your billboard. It is this area right up here. It is a fantastic place for you to give people a preview of the work that you do. So I highly recommend that you do not leave it blank. There are a couple of things that you can do. You can go on 2 different websites. You'll see them there at the bottom of the screen, pexels.com or unsplash.com, and you can find a free stock photo. They have really good quality free stock photos, and you can find one that aligns to your industry, and then you can use that as your cover photo. So me, I'm in marketing, so I went on pexels.com and I typed in marketing, and I looked at all the images that showed up, and this one spoke to me the most because I love patterns and prints, so I used this one. Of course, SEO stands for search engine optimization, so you can use that as your cover photo. Next, if you want to get a little fancy, you can use canva.com. They have a bunch of templates. So if you go to canva.com/templates, they actually have LinkedIn cover photo templates, but on canva.com, they're called LinkedIn banners. It's the same thing. It'll get you the same end result. And you can be like Deanna right here, and you can make yourself your own fancy custom cover photo. You can include a number of things. If you have an online portfolio, you can include that URL. You can include your social media handles, whatever it is that you want, you can put it in the cover photo. Just don't leave it blank. Okay, next, the profile photo. So with the profile photo, you must have a profile photo on LinkedIn, but it has to be professional. And the reason why you need to have a profile photo is because LinkedIn did a study a couple of years ago, and they found that people with profile photos, I'll go back so you guys can see that, but yeah, they found that people with profile photos get views on their profiles 21 more times than people without photos, and they also get 9 times more connection requests. So a professional photo means you cannot have any selfies. You cannot be dressed like a cast member of the television show Claws. I don't know if they show this in Canada, but it's one of my favorite shows. The wardrobe is out of control, but it's great for Claws, but it's not great for LinkedIn. And then you want to make sure that you have good lighting. Now you might be wondering, where am I going to get a great headshot? If you already have a great headshot, go ahead and use that on LinkedIn. But I think a lot of the times when people think headshots and LinkedIn, they think of maybe things that are stuffy and boring, but that's the old LinkedIn. It's not like that anymore. I highly encourage you to get a profile photo that really reflects your personality, that really shows truly who you are and your authentic self, as long as it's professional. Now, if you're in need of a new photo, there are a couple of things that you can do. Of course, you can get a phone tripod and take your own photos, especially if you want to use natural light, or you can, oh wait, somebody said a Canadian show to reference. Oh, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. She always wears like the chinchillas and the furs and stuff. Maybe think maybe that's it. But yeah, okay. So when you're doing your profile photo, you can either go and get a phone tripod if you want to do natural light, or you can get a ring light, which I'm using right now to present to you guys. And you can just set up your own shot. And if you do need some help with how to set up your shot, you can go to one of the best universities in the world and take a free online course. And that university is YouTube University. If anybody is a proud scholar of YouTube University, please give me an I am in the chat. Give me an I am in the chat if you are a proud scholar of YouTube University. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are with me. Yes. So YouTube has tons of tutorials on how you can take your own headshot. There are a bunch of actresses and models who have tutorials who can help you. If you're not comfortable taking your own shot, you can always ask a friend or a family member to help you. But then here is also an option that I recommend. And actually, somebody who saw my presentation a couple weeks ago, she actually took me up on this. And if you guys go to my profile, you can see that I recently posted about her. But what you can do is find an Airbnb experience in your city. The best thing about Airbnb experiences is that you don't have to be traveling to another city to book the experience. You can book it in your city. So here's my example. Let's say, for example, that I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and I wanted to get new photos. I could book an Airbnb photography experience, and I could get photos taken of me at various places around the city. The reason why I like this option is because it's a little better of a price point than booking a full on photo shoot or maybe a brand shoot. And you can get some creative photos. Most of the experiences that I've seen are about $150 or less. And even if the photographer can't edit the photos for you, there are tons of editing software that you can find free online or even on your phone. Some of the apps that I recommend are VSCO or Snapseed. So if the photographer can only take the pictures for you, you can easily edit them yourself. So I highly recommend an Airbnb experience. And then, of course, last but not least, you can find a photographer on Instagram. Instagram used to be a place that was just for photos. So it's a great place for you to find a photographer. Just search based on your city. So for me, I live in Washington, D.C. So the example that I used was hashtag DC photographer. And that is how you can find some people who can take your photos for you guys. So did that make sense, guys? Places that you can get new photos if you are in need of them. And I highly recommend, if you want something, a refresh, something that really aligns with personality, to go ahead and do that. Just give me a yes in the chat if that made sense of how you can find new photos. Excellent. Great, you guys are with me. Excellent. All right. So the last thing for you guys, what's popping right now is going to be your LinkedIn headline. So I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to update your LinkedIn headline. That is the young Cardi B right there, back in the day, back in the day. Okay, so your headline describes what you do, and it's one of the first things that people see. So they see your cover photo, they see your profile photo, and then they see your headline. But when I'm perusing around LinkedIn, this area right here, as you guys can see, a lot of the times I will see that people will leave it as the default. And the default is just your current or most recent job title. If anybody has been on LinkedIn and they have seen this, as in you see somebody puts just their current or most recent job title, or maybe that's what your LinkedIn headline looks like right now, give me an I have in the chat if this is something that you've seen. Just people leaving their current job title or most recent job title. Yes. Ahib, I hope I pronounced your name right. But yes, you guys have seen a lot of people will just leave it as the default. And the thing is, LinkedIn is a keyword influenced platform, meaning that when people are going online and searching for things on LinkedIn, they're using keywords. And the more keywords that you have in your profile related to your industry, the higher probability your profile has of coming up when somebody is conducting a search. So for example, a recruiter. So you want to include as many keywords as possible in your headline, in your about section, and in your experience section. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to talk about the about section or experience section, but you just want to make sure that you're including those keywords. It helps with essentially your search engine optimization when you are on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn gives you 220 characters to express yourself in the headline area. It used to be 120, but they recently updated it. And I would give you some caution that you do not need all 220 characters because it starts to look a little jumbled in that area. But if you use about 150 to 170 characters, you are in good shape. So I want to give you guys an example of what this looks like. So here is Alicia Smith. She's a fake person that I made up. And let's say that she is a data analyst in the Baton Rouge area. And let's say that a recruiter goes on LinkedIn and they're looking for a data analyst in the Baton Rouge area, but they're also looking for this recruiter to have these skills that you see at the bottom of the screen. So data visualization, Tableau, Excel, analytics, and reporting. But the problem is Alicia only has data analyst in her headline. What she could do is level it up and use those 220 characters. She doesn't have to use all 220, as I mentioned. And here's what she can do. She can say, a data analyst who hasn't met an Excel sheet I didn't love. I thrive in analytics, reporting, and data visualization. I'll give you guys a closer look at it here. So again, a data analyst who hasn't met an Excel sheet I didn't love. I thrive in analytics, reporting, and data visualization. Can you guys in the chat let me know some of the keywords that recruiter was looking for that Alicia was able to incorporate into her, all right, Will, you got it. I hope I pronounced your name right. Excel, you got one. That's fantastic. Any other words you guys can see? Yes, data analyst. Yep, Kelly, you got it. Excellent. Analytics, yeah, you guys got it. There's one, yeah, reporting. All right, it looks like you guys got all of them. Jagpreet, I hope I pronounced your name right. Please forgive me, guys, for not pronouncing your names correctly, but you guys got all of them correct. So we have the keywords of Excel, analytics, reporting, and data visualization. Thank you for participating. And so, guys, I want to give you a couple more examples of what these headlines look like. This is one of my former clients. This is what her headline looked like before. Actually, her whole profile. We did a whole revamp of her profile, but you can see it just says digital marketing personalization lead. And then it just said at her company, but I just blocked out her company. But anyways, this is what we did when we leveled up her LinkedIn. You can see now her LinkedIn headline is mostly keywords. So you can use the sentences like the example I gave of Alicia Smith, where she had, the 2 sentences with the keywords interwoven in, or you can do the keywords like you see Chris has here. So UX lead, cross-functional team leader, digital marketing strategist, you see those keywords in there. And then we have another example, Keisha, who has a great profile as well, but you can see she used one keyword, so web designer, and then followed by sentences. You can see there. So it's up to you, whatever format you want to use. The most important thing is making sure that you use those keywords. And guys, my time is pretty much up. So I told you guys how to have a pop-in cover photo, a great profile photo, and then a headline with keywords. So that is what I have for you guys today. But I'm just kidding. I have a little bonus for you guys that I'm going to try to get through really quickly. But I talked about those keywords so much, so of course I cannot leave you without letting you know how to find some of those keywords. What you can do, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. And this is a website that gives you a word counter that produces word clouds. And what I highly recommend that you do is go to this website right here and then go to the job search platform of your choice. So whether you want to use LinkedIn or Indeed, Monster.com, whatever it may be, in those jobs that you are looking for, that specific role that you're looking for. So for example, I used social media director. What you can do is find 3 to 4 job roles, 3 to 4 social media director roles. That's the example that I used. And what you're going to do is go to job description number 1, and you're going to copy everything in the job description that you find. Okay, and then you're going to paste it into the word counter right here. Then you're going to copy every job description, everything from job description number 2, and then you're going to paste it into the word counter right underneath job description number 1, and so on until you get all the way to number 4. Does that make sense to you guys? So you copy job description number 1, you put it in the word counter, All right, job description number 2. Okay, excellent. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Great, okay. So let's say you have all of your job descriptions in this word counter. So it's just gonna be a bunch of words in this area right here where it says paste text, and then you press the button, it does its magic. And then from here, you can see the keywords that you definitely want to incorporate into your profile, because these are the words that are showing up most frequently in these job descriptions and these job postings that you're going for. So for me, I'm gonna, of course, incorporate social media, paid content, platforms, strategy, audiences, things like that are what I'm gonna want to incorporate into my profile. So guys, I am actually done for real now, but the magic of LinkedIn is staying connected and staying active. It is a social platform. So I have a challenge for you if you're up to taking it. One way for you to stay active is to actually post on LinkedIn. And if you're up for the challenge today, you can create a post letting people know that you attended this career fair and that you attended my session. And then you can tag me in the post, and then I can see it and I can like it and I can comment on it. Now, I know that I gave you guys a lot of information in a little bit of time, but don't worry, guys, you got this, okay? You guys have the talent, you have the skill. I know that you're motivated, because otherwise you would not be here. You guys know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. You got the credentials. You've put in the hours. So go out there and get those jobs that you deserve, right? So be very, very cognizant of the talent that you have, and be very, very mindful of where you want to take that talent and who you want to share your talent with. And that is it for real for me, guys. You can go to my website. You can subscribe to my newsletter, or you can find out how you want to work with me. Of course, like I said, you can email me, and then always you can message me on LinkedIn as well. Do we have any questions? Okay, no questions in there. Sorry, I went a little bit over, guys, but hopefully you got some information. What banner would you recommend? Yep, I would recommend adding UX, UI, whatever your role is. So is it like UX, UI manager, UX, UI specialist, whatever the name of your role is, I would recommend that you add that to your banner. What do you do about adding video to your LinkedIn profile? You can, if you're, Mark, if you're asked, what do I think about adding it? So Mark, what you can do for your adding video, if you want to, you can always upload videos natively as a LinkedIn post. But if you want to add videos there's a couple areas. You can upload the video, of course, to YouTube or Vimeo, and then add the link to your featured section, or you can add the video link as a media link in your experience section. I hope that makes sense. But LinkedIn is actually trying to push video more now. So if there are places that you can incorporate video, I do highly recommend that. Yeah, Johanna, I hope I pronounced your name right, but I hope I answered your question correctly. If you have another question, if you need further explanation about what to do with your banner and adding your title, please let me know. It wasn't to get a banner for Iowa. I don't think. Any suggestions for the type of video? It depends on what you're looking for, Mark, in terms of the type of video. The time. You mean the length of the time of the video? Shorter is better. So LinkedIn gives you 10 minutes for natively uploaded videos. If you upload a video to a post, they give you 10 minutes, but if 2 minutes or less is probably best on LinkedIn. If you're linking to an outside video, so like when you post it on YouTube or Vimeo, I mean, that can be as long as you want it to be, but when you're uploading natively on LinkedIn, keep it short and sweet and to the point. How can I get a banner for IT operations? You can, Kalip, I hope I pronounced your name right, but you can go to canva.com/templates, and you can create your own, custom banner if you want to, or you can go on pexels.com or unsplash.com, and then you can just search for IT. There's a couple of people who have done IT banners for them. It's typically like coding or like computers in a room. And then if you want, you can add the word IT operations to your photo. You can use Canva for that. Let's see, hopefully that answered your question. If there are not any other questions, oh, okay. Should a recent grad student No, don't use the word student. If you are a student, do not use the word student because you have demonstrated that you have knowledge and skill set in this area. So for your LinkedIn headline, I always recommend that you speak to what you have studied or the internships that you've had. So if you have been like Alicia Smith, if she had been a data analyst intern, she could still put data analyst in her headline. And then there's a section in LinkedIn where you can add projects that you've done. You can just add it as, if you go to the top of your profile and it says add a section, if you click on the drop down to that, you can add a project section, and then you can just you can write in all the projects that you've worked on that relate to the industry that you're trying to get in or the field that you're trying to do. So there's lots of areas for students to really display the work that they're doing. No need to include the word student. Also, people can benefit from tailoring their LinkedIn links. Yes, thank you. I hope Talha, I hope I pronounced your name right. But yes, you can very much benefit from creating a custom LinkedIn URL. It's very easy. If you need help, I have a video. So you can send me a message and I can send you the video for that. How much level of textual detail should we add? Oh, yeah. So each experience section on LinkedIn, so every job role that you've had, you get 2,000 characters for every job role that you've had. And you should use as much detail as you need to let people know that you deliver results. So the framework that I like to use for bullet points on your LinkedIn is that telling people the task that you had, the action that you took to complete that task, and then like the results of the task, the outcome of the task. So really speaking to how you are able to deliver results, however long it takes you to do that. And, if it takes you 3 sentences to do that or 2 sentences, whatever it may be, the most important thing is showing that, yes, the STAR method. Yes, like, how people use the STAR method for interviews, but you can use the STAR method pretty much on your LinkedIn profile. So the situation, the task, the action, and the results. Yes, excellent. Do we have any other questions? I'm very thirsty. I always get parched after I present. But are there any other questions, guys? Full text space. Well, so you're going to use as much space as you need to communicate to people that you deliver results. So if you need to use, 1,500 characters in your about section, or if you need to use all 2,600 characters in your about section, but you should always use your about section because this is a place where you can incorporate more keywords. And so when recruiters are looking at your profile, they're looking at your headline, your about section, your experience, and then they're going to hop down to your recommendations. So make sure that you're using your about section. I think I've gone well over my time now, guys. So if you guys have any further questions, definitely reach out to me. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your time here. And I think you guys are welcome. I think I'm going to close out. I think I'm supposed to wait for Rachel, but I'll just close out. Enjoy your time, guys.